In this clip we're going to look at drawing a parabola when we're given the focus point in relationship to the directrix. So in this one it's given the focus point is 30 millimeters away from the directrix. The first step to do is to put down a horizontal line that represents your axis and then a vertical line perpendicular to the axis for your directrix. And because we know that the focus is 30 millimeters from the directrix, the next step is quite easy. We just need to locate the focus by measuring 30 millimeters, so 10, 20, 30 millimeters from the directrix. So that is our point F for our focus in there. So that is the point that all of our loci or our coordinates for our parabola are going to work from. The next step we need to do is know where the vertex is. So on the axis is where we find the vertex, and that's the point closest to which the parabola will go towards the directrix. So we're having a look here. Here's an example. Previously we see here's our parabola in the middle. So our parabola comes through. There's our vertex located on the axis and our focus point in there. A little bit hard to see, but that's where it is. When we look at the eccentricity of a parabola, we know that from any point to the focus divided by any point to the directrix is equal to 1, which means that the distance from the focus to our vertex will be the same distance as it is from the vertex to the directrix. So that means that the parabola will always cross at exactly the bisect point or the halfway point from the focus to the directrix. Which means that if this is 30 millimeters in here, our vertex should sit at 15 millimeters. To do that, you can either measure it, or the preferred method is to use your geometry, and we're actually going to bisect it. So find exactly where your compass goes through that focus point, swing an arc up and down, make sure your compass doesn't move, arc up, arc down, and through there will be so right there. That is our vertex, halfway between the focus and the directrix. Now the next step, what we need to do is actually, after our vertex, we know that our parabola is going to come down and hit in here. So after our vertex, we'll put in a series of vertical lines that are parallel to the directrix. And you can miss the F. You can just start to throw in the random lines back out through here. And you might find that you want to put in more later on, just to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to put one in there. I'll just number them up. So this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've done 5 lines in there. They can just be random lines. Now any point on here, on these lines, should be the same distance from the focus out to the point on here as it is from the directrix out to there. So to find these points, what we need to do is we just go onto our directrix and we measure along to where point 1 is. And get your compass, you might have to fiddle it around a little bit to get it exactly right. So when it's cutting through that number 1, so that distance from directrix to 1, if you put it onto the focus and find where it cuts 1. So then we have the same distance from here to here, the focus to that point, as it is from that point back to the directrix. So that point there is going to be your first point. And we'd also have the same down this side. So there's a point there. Then I come along to 2, set my compass nicely, it crosses on 2, then go to my focus and cross 2, and cross 2 there. Come out to 3, directrix to 3, then go to my focus, cross number 3. Directrix to 4, onto my focus and cross number 4. Directrix out to 5, item of focus, cross it 5. And this could keep going infinitely out as far as you want it to go. Or you may only have a set distance that you want to come out to for whatever purpose, so you can measure out from the axis line, take a couple of lines through and just stop where it hits those lines. So let's put those points in. So there's one there that we marked before, one there, one there, one there, one there. So on the one line here, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may like to put in another line through where your F is here, just to, you can see there's quite a big gap there. You could use your F or you could use any other point. I'm going to use my F because there's a huge gap in there that I want to fill in. So I'll go from my directrix to F. Then I'm going to go on to F and I'm going to mark it on the line just there. And just there. So that'll give me my extra points in there. Okay, so then using your 4H pencil you can start to do the fun part, or the not fun part I should say. Trying to rough in your very awkward looking parabola. And you think it's about right. HB for your outline. And there is your parabola given its focus point 30mm from the directrix. What you need to remember is that the distance from the directrix perpendicular out from the directrix out to any point is the same distance as the focus to that point. It will always equal 1, those two distances at any point. Thank you.